the theme for this week. As we continue this month, we have been speaking about the status quo. And today's title is Finding Wholeness Beyond Labels. Finding Wholeness Beyond Labels, which means that in our world, a lot of times we hear about different kind of labels that are being used depending on how if you fall inside the box or outside the box. And if you fall outside the box, now you have disabilities of so many names that they are there that I really don't can count them, right? There's so many of them. And so long time ago, I decided that I wasn't going to pay attention to those labels of how society chooses to label someone because it has abilities or disabilities outside the box. The cookie cutter. I like to call it a cookie cutter. And so today, as we enter this grand statu quo finale, the last week of this conversation, as we speak about this, I really want to make sure that you prepare yourself to embark in a exploration and also to reflect on how you perceive and how you react to these labels, or when you encounter people or that have those labels, that have been living with those labels. And it's very important because in a spiritual community, when we know that all of us, there's not one of us that is not animated by the spirit of life. Spirit within each one of us is what is moving us, is what gives us life. Without the spirit within each one of us, we will not be having this human experience. And how we are manifested in this human experience, there that's just different ways that the spirit has decided to manifest itself, to experience life through that in that situation, or in that disability or ability, as we call it. But at the end of the day, what we want to do here is celebrate the uniqueness of each one of us, because each one of us, as we understand very clearly that there's only one spirit, there's only one life, and that life is individualized in each one of us, manifesting as each one of you, as you and as me. We understand that we need our job is to, as we recognize that we recognize that each one of us is unique, and each one of us has a gift to bring to each other. And whoever comes into your life, see it as a gift. And the question should be, what are the possibilities here? What are the possibilities with this person, with the challenges with the seemingly challenges, or how it's showing up? So I think it's very important for us to welcome and to have a sacred space for us to have people feel, all of them, welcome, no matter what, no matter the color of the skin, no matter how they speak, no matter what language they speak, or disabilities that they might have, or abilities that they don't have. And so I think that it's so important that we intentionally expand our consciousness to meet people a little bit more by joining and finding that the wholeness is what brings us together, because wholeness goes beyond any labels. It doesn't matter, the labels that in our societies are put on some of us, right? And so We have to always, as we walk in this journey of spiritually growing and becoming aware of our uniqueness and aware of our power, we can embrace everyone, knowing that everyone has that power, that everyone has that spirit within them, and that because each one of us have that power within us, we recognize them and we see them as whole, regardless of the appearances. I love to use that word. I remember I heard that word the first time with Reverend Hydra, and when she said regardless, it really sit with me so well, because I understood that regardless of my human experience or others' experiences, there's always that power within each one of us that hold us together, that is perfect, that can never be touched, and that it has all the power and it has all the possibilities to have and to be and to express themselves as the divine love, as the divine God. So it's very important that we understand that, okay? It's so important. I have this quote here from Kan Kijaro Guyen. He reminds us, he says, let me see this quote. Give me a moment. He reminds us that he says, able does not mean enable. Disabled does not mean less able. You know, when I read that, I was just like, wow, that's interesting. You know, able does not mean enable, and disabled does not mean less able. You know, how many I'm a victim of it, so I'm not gonna pretend like I've not done this, because I've done it many times. How many of us, you know, we walk around and we see someone that seems disabled? Can you recall how do you feel about that person because you perceive them as disabled? I want you to think about that. You know, when I saw this, I thought about it, and I was just like, wow, that is true. At times I feel pity, I feel a lot of compassion for them, and I feel like I want to help them, extra help them. uh, I want to be there for them more than if they were not showing up as they were showing up. And when I read this quote, I was just like, wow, you know, able does not mean enable, and disabled doesn't mean less able. It doesn't mean that there's less able. It just means that we must recognize them and treat them as whole and ask them, what can we do to support you? Because they know better what they need to be supported. Okay. And not for us to assume that we know what is it that we need to do for them, um, or start thinking that, you know, that we cannot, that we can help, that they can do something for themselves. Okay, because we have to recognize that each one of us is here to blossom from recognizing the deeply rooted spiritual essence that is within each one of us, because each one of us has that, and if each one of us have it, that means that we have the power and we have the abilities to radiate love, to radiate abundance, and all the potential that is there within each one of us. And so the reality is that each one of us, what we need to really think about is to take a moment and imagine the power that there is when we shift our perspective. Shifting the perspective. Think about that. Shifting your perspective about how you perceive others, or the ones that are less able, they look less able. How do we perceive them? Okay. So in our mind, we must consciously take the time to really look at our ways of perceiving, our perceptions, our judgments about others, and instead of judging, just be present with them. Imagine if instead of us making assumptions and making um, judgments, we could just sit with each person and know that they are whole and be willing to say, what can I do to help you? Instead of assuming. I think that if we then we could have a different kind of world if we do that. Okay, because disabilities and differences are not more challenging. Disabilities and differences are not mere challenges to be overcome by uniquely manifestations of one spirit, infinite creativity, because each person, each one of us, brings to our life unique sets of abilities, of gifts. Each one of us, even those that seem to be disabled, they have some abilities and some gift that they are here for them to give to us that seem so able. You know, I have in my family, I have the gift of having some family members that have, according to society, some disabilities, mental disability, cognitive disabilities, different disabilities that the society, and they have names for it. And I decided that I have to be present with each one of them and keep myself from judging, huh? And just be present and really listen and really love and really be with them, with each one of them. And when I do that, I feel different. I feel different. I feel that I can enjoy their company. They feel respected. They feel at peace. They open up to me because they find themselves that I'm not judging. I am 100% present with them. And I am asking, okay, so what is it that you want me to do? Or what can I do to help you? Or how do you want me to help you? And if I'm able to do that, I say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Or if I'm not willing to do that, I give myself permission to say, you know what, I would love to do that, but I can't. Maybe I can do such and such thing. I'm also, to me, when I first encounter one of my family members um, that has a label, a young one, a young member of my family, he doesn't like to be hugged. And at first, like he doesn't like to be touched. And at first, when I came across this, I was just like, but what's wrong with him? But then I started learning that, you know what, nothing is wrong with him. Nothing is wrong with him. So instead of me going and when I see him going and do the same thing that I do with other people, I ask him, I say, is it okay if I give you a hug? Or are you ready to give me a hug? And it has shifted something in him that when I see him, I don't jump into it. And he just comes to me and say, hi, Titi, and he gives me a hug. And I saw that and I was just like, wow. And you know why that shift happened? Because I made a decision to see him whole. I made a decision to stop judging him as something is wrong with him. I made a decision to say, it's okay. It's a different way for expression. He expressed himself in a different way than me or others. That society says inside the boxes, I'm inside this box, that is normal. And what is really normal? What is really normal? I sometimes I sit down and I ask myself, what is really normal? None of us are normal. We think we're normal. So I think that the best thing to do is to really embrace others wherever they are. we have this other quote from Yvonne Pierre. Yvonne Pierre, let's see, where is she? Okay, right here. Yvonne Pierre, she says from her book, The Day My Soul Cried. It's a memoir reminding us that, she reminds us that when you focus on someone's disability, you'll overlook their abilities, beauty, and uniqueness. Once you learn to accept and love them for who they are, you subconsciously learn to love yourself unconditionally. I can honestly say this was my experience with my loved one. You know, when you focus on someone's disability, you overlook their abilities. And I stopped doing that. I stopped looking at the so-called disability of my loved one. I stopped. And I decided to be present 100% when I see him. And to allow him to express himself whichever way he wants to. And to allow him to come and say hi to me and do it the way he wants to whenever he was ready. I stopped judging and say something is wrong with him or that's not normal. I stopped. And I honestly felt so much more connection with my loved one. And so I know for my own personal experience that it is so true that when we learn to accept and love them for who they are, as they're showing up, unconsciously, we are really learning to love ourselves because we're learning to accept those areas of our life that we're not so proud of or that we don't really like. Because how many of us can say they are part of me that I do not like and that I'm still working on becoming better? Because that's what we're here for, each one of us, even those of us that seems to be so normal. Okay? I honestly like to be abnormal. I don't want to be normal. I decided that I want to be normal. So I think it's so important because when we have that when we understand that everyone has a self-worth. Everyone has is adding to our society, and we can actually embrace more people, and more people can feel welcome into our families, into our spiritual communities, into whatever gathering that we're doing. They can feel that they're embraced and that they can be themselves and that they have the opportunity, and that we can all have the opportunity to be who we are and continue to expand, grow, and be the gift to each other. So how about if each one of us decide that we're going to be present and embrace everyone regardless of how they're showing up? Because we must remember that we are not what we see. We are so much more. We're so much more. Because the divine within each one of us is expressing through each one of us for the gift of each one of us. And each one of us can learn to love others. And when we learn to love others, we can actually begin to learn to accept and love the part of ourselves that we don't like so much and that we're so judging about it. Okay? It is so important. It is so important. Not only that, but also we as a community, we are called to create sacred spaces, okay, that are abundant in love, in compassion, and real support. support that people can feel it, that they can feel that they're being seen, that they are being seen, that they are being accepted, embraced. How many of us are wanting to do that? Even those of us that seem to be so normal. We all want to be accepted. We all want to be loved. We all want to be able to be celebrated in a community or in our families. Okay? Because each one of us has something to contribute, no matter how small it is and no matter what labels we have been given by society. Because society is the one that has put those labels and has made people feel that they're different because they have disabilities or disabilities. So, my invitation for you is to consider moving as we move forward with this idea of understanding that there's no disabilities, there's only wholeness. And to see disabilities as just manifestations of gifts for each one of us to learn to love each other and to accept and to learn what is, so the question should be, what is here? What is my opportunity? What is this showing me about me? Number one. Number two is, what possibilities are here to grow? What possibilities are here to learn? Every opportunity is an opportunity to learn and to grow, but it is up to us to be open to that opportunity. Okay. um Henry L.B. Jorgensen, from Michelin director, he wrote, let me see, he wrote, where is this quote? Let me see if I put it here. Um, yeah, right here. Okay. He wrote, he said, lack of accessibility, other people's assumptions, body ideals, and a lack of self-confidence among people with disability are often the biggest barriers for diversity. Okay. Lack of accessibility, other people's assumptions, body ideals, and a lack of self-confidence among people with disability are often the biggest barriers for diversity. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? This means that, we have to, by us, the way my understanding of this is that, as a in our, wherever we go, every place of service, whether it's a restaurant, um, businesses, any other businesses, our community centers, our spiritual communities, in our homes, we must be mindful of other people's needs and make it available so they can feel welcome, so they can feel that their needs are being thought of, right? And to be honest, as I was pondering on this topic, I was saying to myself, most of the time, because I don't have those needs, I don't even think about them. So it's not something that we do consciously. It's subconsciously, because we assume, because we don't have those needs, then we don't think about those people that have those needs. It really made me ponder, what else can we do? What else can we do? And so I think it's very important that we become conscious of other people's needs, and work on what can we do to provide a sacred environment by providing the needs of others that are not like our needs, because everyone has different needs. And I think that when we do that, then we are really open to diversity, and we are actually really embracing others. We're embracing others. We are giving others the opportunity to feel welcome, because we have the accessibility that they are needing, maybe a wheelchair, a space for a wheelchair to be, a space in a restaurant or the spiritual community where people that with wheelchairs can just come in and be accommodated there. People that have hearing problems, or they can't see. There's a lot of things that honestly I'm still learning. And this topic has been really an eye-opening for me, because I'm really pondering on all these things and how I am showing up in the world for those that seem to be, that are diverse, that are not, there is nothing like me. And to know that they are a gift to us too, because they're allowing me to become present and conscious of who they are, and knowing that they are gift. They are a gift, because then we have the opportunity to see through others' lens, and to experience life through others' lens. And to know that when when we provide the space and what is needed for others, depending on their needs, then we are actually really embracing diversity. Diversity is not just race. Diversity and inclusion is so much more than just race. A lot of times we think it's just about race. No, it's so much more. So much more than race, than culture, than language, including everyone. Diversity and inclusion means that we must remember and to become conscious of including everyone and not leaving no one outside. And how can we do that in our centers, in our spiritual communities, in our families? So no one has no stigma because of they are different or they look different. That would be an amazing, amazing world to live in, right? That we can really just embrace everyone for who they are. You know, it will be amazing. So I like to invite you to how about starting, like I said, to start becoming mindful of all those people that have different needs than you, and being more purposeful about it, and thinking about how we show up for them. And so we can be open to the gift that they have to give us, because they have a gift to give us. A lot of times when we see, a lot of times for me, I'm going to speak for myself, I'm thinking, oh, I got to do for them. But how about if I start thinking, what is the gift that they have for me? And I know there is a gift. I have experienced it already. So I think that it's about being a vessel, being a channel of allowing others to really be present for them, and to embrace them, and to ask the questions. What are the possibilities? What are the possibilities? What are the gifts that are presenting in this opportunity as this person with this abilities or disabilities? And how can we implement it in our community? How can we use it in our community so we can grow and expand and unfold as a spiritual community? Think about that. So it's very important that we recognize all this stuff. So in closing, what I want to say to you is that we must commit to be the vessels of love, and accepting, and to have and accepting, and also in the constant embracing of creating inclusivity. So by doing that, then we really are honoring, and we are embracing, and we are celebrating each other's uniqueness. Imagine if living in a world where we all embrace each other, regardless of how we look or what we do, or the disabilities or abilities that we can do. Imagine if we can just embrace each other, because we recognize that you and me and everyone else is the Spirit of God showing up, manifesting in this form, whatever form that is, but we recognizing the wholeness of the one spirit that brings us together. Imagine that, walking around like that. We will definitely be living in a different world. Right? We will definitely be living in a different world. We will believe we can create a vibrant, we have the opportunity to create vibrant communities. And imagine having people from all walks of life with all type of disability in our communities. Yes, that is calling us to step up. That's what I'm hearing. That is calling us to step up as a community, as family, because there's nothing better than to feel that you are accepted. Eric Butterworth, he says, let me see, Eddie Bodyworth, ¿de qué está este? Where is he? Let's see. Did I put it here? Mm, where is he? Okay, I don't think I put it. It doesn't look like I put it. But anyway, this one, it says from his book, The Creative Life Book, page 24. He reminds us, you are a perfect idea of the infinite mind. You are whole now. This wholeness is the only way the universe knows you. That's beautiful, right? In his book, The Creative Life Book, and it's on page 24, Eric Butterworth. That's the name of the author. He says, you are a perfect idea in infinite mind. You are whole now. This wholeness is the only way the universe knows you. So I invite you to continue with this work in our individual life, in collectively, in our spiritual centers, in our families, so we can really interconnect and come together in one heart, in one mind, in one spirit. And so we can actually do what everyone would love to have, a community where we can be embraced by who we are in reality, who we are spiritually, okay, and really be loved and embraced, and see the good and the gifts that each one has to bring into the world. So I'm going to leave you with this quote from LeVar Burton. LeVar says, that one I have it here. LeVar, where are you? Um, he said, yeah. Okay, there it is. He said, I truly believe, he said, LeVar Burton says, in a society that functions optimal, optimally, those who can should naturally want to provide for those who can't. That's how it's designed to work. I truly believe we're here to take care of one another. In a society, that's why he said, in a society that functions optimally, that functions in optimally, right? That works very well. That's what that word means. In a society that everything is working and flowing perfectly, those who can should naturally want to provide for those that can't. That's how it's designed to work. He said, I believe we're here to take care of one another. It's similar to what Jesus, it reminds me of a quote from the Bible that Jesus says, we are our brother's keeper. Something like that. It's the same thing. Similar. It's that same sense that we're here to be here for each other. So in that space of knowing that we're here for each other, I think it's a great segue for us to go into our affirmations. And I want you to take a deep breath. Okay, I want you to take a deep breath and really sink in this conversation that we have had, this reflection that we have had today. Okay, take a deep breath and reflect on what I have shared with you. And I will first put your hand in your chest and say, it is so that I embrace my complete self and see the inherent wholeness in every person I encounter. Take a deep breath. And the next one, it is so that I honor my individuality while celebrating the unity and completeness in others. I honor. It is so that I honor my individuality while celebrating the unity and completeness in others. Take a deep breath. And our last affirmation, it is so that I acknowledge the rich tapestry of humanity, recognizing the beauty and wholeness in myself and in everyone I meet. It is so that I acknowledge the rich tapestry of humanity, recognizing the beauty and wholeness in myself and in everyone I meet. Take a deep breath. And in that space of centering ourselves, I invite you to just be anchored and to stay aligned in your source, in that source of oneness, in that recognition that there's only one love, one life, one spirit, one power, one mind. And when we recognize that there's only one mind, one power, one life, then when we understand that deep in our bones, deep in our soul, aligning ourselves with that truth of who we are, we can embrace the truth that you and me, that I am one as the one, that I am one as the power, as the mind, as the life that is in this universe, in all the universes, in all the galaxies. There's only one power, and I am one as this power. And as I recognize that I am one as this power, as I recognize that I am one as, I am part of this power. I am a cell of this power. I am a cell of this divine love. Recognizing that all the qualities of love, the qualities of peace, prosperity, health, joy, grace is in me. And when I say me, when I say I am speaking about you as well. there's only one. And if there's only one, whenever I say I am speaking about you, I am including you. As I recognize this truth about who I am and whose I am knowing and claiming and accepting the power that lives within me. Accepting the power of the possibilities to see the good, to see the power, the wholeness in each and every one of those that come into my awareness. That I no longer see them as disabled or imperfect. I stay present. I am present, recognizing their wholeness, recognizing their unique gifts towards each one of us. And I stay in the questions. What are the possibilities? What is the gift in this person? In me connecting with this person? What is the gift in celebrating each other, regardless of how we are manifesting, regardless how we are showing up in the world? We are we are saying yes. We are all one. We are divine manifestation of the love of God, manifesting in different ways. So we can recognize the power within each one of us, the beauty of each one of us, and to celebrate each one of us, to celebrate with joy, with love, recognizing the beautiful gifts that we are to each other, to embrace our differences. As we recognize that our differences doesn't separate us, it actually brings us together. I give thanks for this recognition. I give thanks. I give thanks for every word that has come out of my mouth. I give thanks for the journey that each one of us is in. I give thanks for the willingness, the allowance. And as we allow, we stop judging. We just allow love to permeate in each one of us. And as we allow that love to permeate in each one of us, we continuously ask the question, what can I do for you? Or how may I serve you? How may I help you? Rather than making assumptions. To be present and to embrace and celebrate everyone. I give thanks for this and so much more, and I let it be. And so it is, and now it is. Ashe, amen. Oof. Wow. Yeah, that was deep. That was deep for me. So in that space of prayer, I want you to, this is what we do. I want to remind you, this is what we do. We do prayer. Okay, we pray for you. And so I invite you to send your prayers. Send your prayers. We have prayer practitioners here, and we are waiting for praying for you. Okay, send your prayers. You can send your prayers requests to One Love Center. Okay, let me see. Send your prayer requests to revrod@gmail.com, or give us a call at 844-295-5155. Remember that all your prayers are kept confidential. We do not share your prayers with anyone. We keep them for 7 days. After 7 days, we stop praying for that situation or condition. But if you give us a call or connect with us via email or text, we will continue to pray for you. And if you don't have anything to pray for and everything is going wonderful, then call us, text us, email us, and let us ask us to keep praying so your life continues to evolve with grace. So remember to do that. We also want to say thank you so much for sending your donations to One Love Center, for continuously supporting One Love Center with your donations. Keep sending your donations to One Love Center. We this ministry is still here because of your generosity. That's the reason why this ministry is still here, because we still have to make some we have to pay the people that offer us the opportunity to have this platform, so we can connect with you no matter where you are, whenever you are available to listen to this recording if you're not here. So we want to say, make sure that you do your donations and send us your donations at via PayPal by going to onelovecenter.org. Click on the donation button and send your payments. You can actually, which is one of the things that I do, which I like it because I don't even have to think about sending my donations. I put it in automatic on PayPal. It allows you and gives you the opportunity to send your donations and do a recurring donations on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, whatever way you want to, for the whatever amount it is for you. And remember, as I always said, it's not about the amount, it's about activating the law of circulation, because you are circulating the law of circulation when you give your donations. And it's not so whatever amount it is that you can do happily, joyfully, that's the amount that you want to do. You don't want to do an amount that is making a hole on your pocket, or that is making you feel like you don't have enough. Because if you're giving from a place of a scarcity, please don't do it. Give from a place of abundance. Give from a place knowing that you have more than enough. Okay? If you have $1 to give, that dollars is more than enough that you can give. If it's $5, then you give those $5. If it's $50, $100, $1,000, whatever amount that is, we are grateful for the amount that you're giving to us. The more, the better, of course. But we are grateful for that, because we know that you're giving with joy and that you're activating the law of circulation, and it has to come back, and it comes back to you so many ways. I tell you, it comes back to you. No one can tell me difference. And when I say this, is because at one point I know exactly, if you having a problem not tithing, I know what's going on, because I was there once, so I understand. So please connect with me and I can help you with that, so you can activate that law of activation, that law of prosperity in your life, and I can coach you into what is the idea behind it, and the true understanding of the law of circulation. Okay, but for now, I'm gonna leave it there, and I want to invite you to do the affirmation of abundance. I want you to put your hand in your heart and say, money, as one of the many gifts of spirit, is good. As I share my offering, I know that I am actively creating a space, receiving more gift, more money, and more good. I am grateful for the gifts I am grateful for the ability to give, and for all the good works this gives to in our center, in our world. And now it is, and so it is. Ashe, amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all the giving that you are doing, for all the money that you send in on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, whenever it is that you send it. I want to say thank you so much for doing that. Now, I want to say thank you for all those of you that are here with me in this for I want to say thank you, Angela, for being here. Thank you, Reverend Rodney, for being here. Thank you. Who else is here? I can't see. I'm a little techie challenge. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Okay, and I would like to ask you to give us a heart, to give us a like, to send your comments. Send your questions. We're here to support you in your journey. Make sure that you share this broadcast in your social media page with your family. We send you emails, newsletter. If you are not part of our newsletter, please make sure that you send us your email so we can send your newsletters and keep you informed of everything that is happening here with One Love Center. We have classes. We have a waiting list that we're a waiting list for the classes that are coming up. So make sure that you do that, okay? Also, let me see what else. Let me see what else. Let me see. Yeah. So make sure that you connect with us, okay? And give us your email so we can make sure that you stay abreast from everything that is happening within One Love Center and all the classes that we have coming up. We are gathering a list of people who are interested in classes so we can start a class as soon as we have a group of people in our class. So now, thank you so much for being here. And I just want to do a quick benediction. And once we do the benediction, then we are going to put a song and then we'll be done and we will be seeing you next week. Okay. So allow yourself to just go into that space of aligning yourself with the divine love within yourself, plugging into that power of love, of peace, embracing all that has transpired during this hour here, and that the message may have bring you into some awareness, some understanding, and reflection of how you are in the world towards others and how you see in others, recognizing that there's no others, it's only I. Because when I see you, I see me. And when I see others, I see me. And so we get to have the opportunity to see ourselves in others. We get to have the opportunity to see the gifts that Spirit is giving us in others to us for our own evolution, for our own remembering, our own awareness, and our own allowing and accepting of the love and the preciousness that each one of us is. I give thanks for this amazing opportunity to serve, for the amazing opportunity to be a channel, to allow my voice to be used, and to be in this ministry of One Love Center. As I see it growing and expanding in places that I cannot even imagine. And I am knowing that it's doing amazing work. I am knowing that each one of us is doing an amazing work, as each one of us, of members of One Love Center, including Reverend Rodney, Reverend Hydra, myself, and all the practitioners that are here now and that are coming, that we are touching many people's life. And as we do that, we are growing ourselves in our own personal journey as well. I give thanks for this opportunity. I am grateful for this opportunity. I am grateful for this opportunity to evolve, to grow in every area of my life, and to be surrounded by amazing beings that love me and that support me in every way that each one of them can. I give thanks for this. And I am in embracing each one of you, embracing each one of you to be supported and to be accepted and to be celebrated in our center. I give thanks for this and so much more. And now it is, and so it is. Ashe, amen.